What's up, guys? Ron Harris here. And for almost 2 years, or maybe it's over 2 years at this point, we've been wondering, will Big Ramy ever compete again? We saw him win the Mr. Olympia title twice in 2020 and 2021. 2022, he dropped down to 5th place. 2023, he came back to the Arnold Classic and was 4th place. However, today, he made it very clear he is not done with this post, saying simply, I will be back, with this great picture from that Arnold Classic, where a lot of people thought he could have placed certainly higher than 4th, that he was sort of being penalized. And it looked like some of the damage that had been done, nerve damage or whatever it was, we saw some atrophy in one of his triceps, a calf. His lats looked like they were a little bit retracted. It seemed as if he was moving in a positive direction toward the physique that had won him the Olympia twice. So the question begs, is he coming back at this Olympia? Because as a Mr. Olympia champion, he doesn't need to qualify. He's already qualified for life. And Olympia would be the logical thing. Like, why would he come back at the Arnold Classic? I'm sure he wants the Mr. Olympia title back. Whether or not he's going to be able to do that, of course, remains to be seen. But he is fresh. He's had a lot of time off. Stem cell therapy, things he was looking into, could have made a big difference at this point, because we saw the effects of that, the positive effects of that in the way he looked at this Arnold Classic in 2023. And at that point, he'd only been doing the stem cells for less than 6 months. So with an additional almost 2 years, or over 2 years, I guess, at this point, what does he look like? We don't really know. All the posts he's made since then, we haven't seen any physique updates. This is old video, I believe. A lot of times Ramy, I don't say trolls us, but he puts up old pictures and videos. But this was a dominant physique. This was the best in the world for 2 years in a row. I think we're going to see him come back at the Olympia, or will he wait to the Arnold? What do you guys think? Let's hear what you have to say. Let's get some comments going. Going to look back. Here he was at his Olympia winning performance, 2020. Is your name Ronald? Yes, it is. Yeah, my full name is Ronald. Ronnie Coleman's name is Ronnie. His parents actually named him Ronnie. Mine named me the traditional Ronald. But on my driver's license and passport and all that, it does say Ronald. Will Big Ramy still be big? I never saw him look much smaller. Sometimes guys retire or stop competing and they lose a lot of size. Ramy, we'll take a look at his pictures. And again, we haven't seen anything close to recent in terms of physique updates, but you can see him in clothes. You can see him in t-shirts. He's still a huge, huge guy. We'll take a look at some of that. Francisco Eucalyptus says he's not done. Johnny a Sponge. Big Ramy to regain the Olympia. I mean, that would be, talk about a comeback. Shedding the stress of a couple wives, see me better than they are. What do you mean shedding the stress? Has he divorced 2 of his wives? I mean, he does have 2 wives. As far as I know, he hasn't divorced either one of them. Still younger than Brandon and William Bonac. Yeah, I don't think it's an age issue. The crazy thing about this 2020 Olympia, which was his first of 2 wins, was he wasn't even qualified for that show. He got there on a special invitation. He was supposed to qualify at, I think it was the European Pro. It was a show over in Spain a couple months out. And remember, this was 2020, the first year of COVID. And he tested positive for COVID. They were testing everybody back then constantly, and especially competitors. When you got to the venue, as part of the check-ins, you were tested for COVID. And as fate would have it, he was positive for COVID at that show. Of course, he got over the COVID, and there was no time to do any more shows. It was almost, I don't know if it was the last qualifier. It was one of the last couple. He didn't have time to do anything else, so he asked for a special invitation. They gave it to him. And he's the only special invitation at the Olympia to ever actually win. Take a look at another show. So this was his comeback. This was 2023 Arnold Classic. This was just 6 months after he took 4th place at the Olympia in 2022. As a defending champion, he slipped all the way down to 4th. A lot of people thought he was done, because typically when we see damage to muscle groups, atrophy or whatever, whether it's a tear or nerve damage, rarely do we ever see the physique regain its former glory. Usually that's it. They're pretty much done. And a lot of us thought that was going to be the case with Ramy. But he looked so much better here at this Arnold Classic in 2023. But that was the last time we saw him. And, he was supposedly going to continue the stem cell treatments. I assume he has been continuing those all this time. And, I'm very curious to see, now that we know he is going to compete again, I'm very curious to see what he's going to look like. Let's see, after shaking stress for a couple wives. Is Fouad made a comeback? Oh, that's the guy that's obsessed with Fouad. Still among the most eye-catching pieces of all time. Perfect portions, hands, yellow, heart, red. I don't know what that means. Hands, yellow, heart, red. But, look at the quads. See, this is the only guy that's got quads better than Nexzilla. And I say better because they actually have deep, deep separations in them. So let's go back to his Insta. We'll try to find the most recent pictures of him. So that's a pinned picture. This was 3 days ago. Obviously, we can't really see what's going on there. That was an old shot. This was Big Ramy on June 15th. So this was last month. He's in a tight t-shirt. Let's see if we can really get a good look. He's swallowed up by the crowd. But you can see he's big as ever. He's not lost a step as far as overall size. There he is training. Yeah. I mean, it's clear to me that he's probably planning a comeback for a while. The fact that he's got all this size right now leads me to believe that he probably is doing the Olympia. Because why would he be all properly gassed up, for lack of a better word, if he wasn't intending on doing the Olympia? I don't think we're going to see much there. All right, still a big shirt. Big, strong guy still. Yeah, it's a Max Pump. Is that the equipment that I thought he was with? I thought he was with Panada, but apparently he's with Max Pump. They make some good stuff too, obviously. Big Ramy. So this shot was 11 weeks ago. So this was about 2.5 months ago. Yeah, whatever his off-season weight was, which was well over 300 pounds. I want to say he'd hover between 320 and 340, I think, in the off-season. He looks to be just as big as he ever was. So I do feel he's going to be at the Olympia, which is only, 15 weeks away at this point? Something like that. What else you guys got to say? What age is Ramy now? That's a good question. Big Ramy age. Let's go to Wikipedia. Or just go to Siri or whoever it is. AI. Big Ramy age. Okay. Oh, he's 40. So he's 40 in September this year, 16th of September, 5 years before my birthday. He'll be 41. So he will be 41 at the time of this Olympia. But remember, Sean Roden won the Olympia. I think he was 44, 43, something like that. Second wife divorced him. I did not know that. I mean, I don't really keep up with his marital situation. But yeah, in Egypt, you can have up to 4 wives legally. Where was this? Was it guest posing somewhere? I don't know. That footage is pretty crappy. It's pretty blurry. Pretty blurry. I'm going to have to go back to the Olympia footage. Oh, no, that's the Arnold Classic. All right, so that was the 2023 Arnold Classic. Yeah, this footage it's not great. He still makes the rounds, gets all over the place. Very, very relevant. Doesn't get over to this side of the world very often, but obviously he gets over to Europe. When was that? This was back in the day, he says. I don't know when this was. Yeah, Sam says 39. So they're, 40. How tall is he? That's a good question. I believe he's 5'9", between 5'9" and 5'10" is my best estimate. The fact that he's wearing a t-shirt. Well, he was never a guy. You'd never see Ramy really showing a lot of physique off-season anyway. Olympia time, he would be good with the updates, but maybe we'll start seeing those. I would hope for the sake of the Olympia, not that they need the ticket sales because they sell out all the time anyway, but just to help the Olympia get a little more hyped up, I would hope that if he is doing the Olympia, that he makes that known pretty soon so that they can have a chance to promote it. Yeah, Samson's 39. Samson might be 40 by the time of the Olympia. I'm not sure when his birthday is. I've seen Ramy do interviews. Oh yeah, I mean, I've had the privilege of interviewing a couple times, once on video and 2 or 3 times in person. And yeah, man, just the nicest guy. They call him a gentle giant, a big teddy bear. Always smiling. I've never heard him say a bad thing about anybody. Just a nice gentle giant. He's got 3 or 4 kids. Family man. Big Romney. Mitt Romney was former governor of Massachusetts. He's either 5'9" or 5'10". He's somewhere around that range. I know he's not any taller than that, but he's not any shorter than that. Yeah, Roden was great that year. Wish nobody the stress of having 4 wives. Well, I mean, I guess it would all depend on the arrangement and the situation. I mean, like that show Sister Wives, which I never really watched it. I used to see the commercials, but from what I understand, they all had different houses. 4 wives under one house, under one roof. That would be rough. And trying to juggle 4 households and 4 wives and all these kids would be a challenge too. But clearly some guys are up to the task. I had enough trouble with 1 wife. Yeah, I think most married men would say the same thing. So if she's divorced him because he's little, right? Oh, that's rude. His legs are bigger than top plaits, I think is what you meant to say. Yeah. Yeah, these are all older stuff. And this is 37 weeks ago. He's not someone who posts a lot. Even then, I mean, he never really lost much size. I don't think he would ever be a small guy. I don't think he would ever shrink down to nothing, put it that way. This is kind of blurry, but you could still see. This was, I don't know when that was. It says it was 3 weeks ago. Oh, that's just that post was 3 weeks ago. I don't know when this was originally posted. So this looks like not the Olympia 2020. This looks like the second time he won 2021, which we're finally getting past that COVID nonsense. Yeah, he looked really good. Again, I apologize. The footage it's on Instagram. It's not the clearest footage. It's not the best, but you can still get a sense of just how monstrous this guy was. Because, right now everyone's freaking out about Rubiel Mosquera, rightfully so. He's a newer pro, and he's got 2 wins now, 2 pro wins. It's exciting to follow new talent. But Ramy had just as much mass, if not more, with a better structure. Just, nothing that was really a glaring weak point. He had the shoulders to balance out the quads. He had the arms to balance out the quads. Rubiel needs bigger arms and bigger delts to balance out those monster legs. Ramy was just big as hell everywhere. He wasn't lacking a dang thing. Ramy coming to Olympia, that's what we're trying to figure out. And we're just speculating, obviously. We don't know. We don't know where he's coming back, but he has confirmed that he's not retired. He will be coming back. That's a good shot. That's a really good shot. I was fortunate enough to see his pro debut at the 2013 New York Pro. I was also there in 2014 when he came back and won it again. And it was just astonishing to most of us. We hadn't seen this much mass with that kind of condition and shape and structure in a very long time. Obviously, Ronnie was the standard bearer for that. But this was sort of I don't want to say Ramy was necessarily bigger than Ronnie, but he definitely could be compared to Ronnie in terms of someone who just carried the mass so well on his frame. Any more comments? Yeah. So I'm excited. I was a fan. We're all, how can you not be a fan of Ramy? Even if he wasn't your favorite bodybuilder at the time, you still had to admire the guy and respect the work ethic, just the sheer mass of the guy, because he was a freak, but he had, I don't want to say aesthetics. He wasn't like a classic physique type of aesthetically pleasing bodybuilder, but he didn't have a gut. His midsection was proportionate. It wasn't big and blown out in the least. What else he got posted here? So I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what this guy can pull together. There's some more footage. And there's some more Olympia footage. Not sure what year this was. He did the Olympia for several years before he won. I think 2013 was his first Olympia. The year that was his rookie year, and I think he was 6th that year, 6th or 7th. He'd never been below 7th. Yeah, this is a good routine here. And of course, it took him a few years. A few different coaches to really nail it. But he did. He nailed it working with Chad Nichols. in 20 and 21, and he got the ultimate title. And this, I do believe he's coming back for the Olympia. And today was just a preliminary announcement that he's back, that he's not retired. We will be seeing him soon. How soon remains to be seen. Will it be this October at the Olympia, or do we have to wait until next March for the Arnold? Now, the Arnold, it's enticing. He's never won an Arnold Classic. He's won 2 Olympias. And the Arnold Classic, we already know, is going to be a $750,000 payout for first prize next year. So it wouldn't surprise me if he wants to come back for that reason alone. I mean, that's not that he's hurting for money. I'm sure he's doing pretty well, but $750,000, $750,000, it's not chump change. Even to somebody like Ramy, I think that's enough to bring him back. Now, the Olympia, as it stands, is $500,000 for first prize. However, I would not be surprised if either shortly before the Olympia, maybe like a week or a month away from the show, Jake Wood and Dan Solomon make the announcement that the prize money is going to be boosted up to, maybe they're going to match the Arnold, $750 already. They might do that. Or at least $650 or something. No, because it was $650. Wasn't it $650 last year? Didn't they bump it up? Yes, I'm sorry. My bad. It was $650 last year for Sampson. It had been $500 before that, and the Arnold was $400. They're both sort of doing this bidding war, trying to outdo each other on first prize. And of course, who wins? The athletes win. The athletes win because they're going to get more money. Once, other sports, other professional sports make so much more money than pro bodybuilding. So I'm very happy to see bodybuilders getting a bigger piece of the pie, a bigger payday. They work so hard. It's a tough sport. Let's be real. It takes a little bit off your lifespan. So it's good. It's about time these guys got paid. Was that a family shot? It's hard to say. Is this his family? The best? Really not sure. Sometimes I can't even understand what he's trying to say in English. World Gym New Cairo, Bulk Masters. Yeah. That's his supplement company. Yeah. All right. Well, that's Big Ramy, guys. Stop sharing. Okay. This is very complex. All right. So I guess that's, we'll just do a few more comments while I'll put his routine up again. Finish out your comments and we'll say goodbye. Yeah, he won in 2020 and 2021. That is correct, Darren. Get Giles, get him on tour. I bet he would be a hit. That's actually not a bad idea. He's doing a tour starting next week, I believe, with Lee Priest, Giles. He was supposed to do a tour that would have started about a week ago with Ronnie Coleman, but Ronnie had his health emergency and could not make it over to Europe, to the UK, to do that tour. He was also going to be appearing at the Euro Muscle Show in Amsterdam this coming weekend, but of course, all those plans had to be canceled, put on hold, because he's in the hospital right now. Ramy's a quality person. He's a good dude. He really is a good guy. I haven't met too many jerks over the years in the sport, but I can honestly say Ronnie's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in the industry. Just a nice, genuine, down-to-earth, humble guy. Family man, obviously. He had 2 wives. I guess, I don't know if it's true that he's back to 1 wife. Has several children. So I wish him the best, and I am very much looking forward to seeing him on stage again very, very soon. So let me know in comments, guys, where do you think Ramy will come back? Will it be the Olympia? Will it be the Arnold? Why? Is he going to go for the big money? That's for sure. We know the Arnold is $750,000. The Olympia is not that far behind, $650,000, and they might match it. They might, or is it $600,000? Something like that. But I bet they decide to match it at the last minute this year. So either way, he's going to make a big chunk of change if he can win, if he can beat Sampson, Hadi, Derek, Nick Walker, Andrew Jacked, Fitzwater, obviously, the whole crew that's coming for the Olympia. It's not going to be easy, but if the stem cell treatments have been working very well for Ramy and he is back to his former glory, looks as good as he did back in 2020 and 2021, or this look here, this was a great look for him at the 2023 Arnold Classic. If he can do that, sky's the limit. I would not say it's impossible for him to regain his Olympia title. Simpson is damn good. Don't get me wrong, guys, but Ramy is very good too. And if Ramy is as good as he was here or better, he's got a chance. He's got a chance. I would never, ever say he does not have a chance to get his Olympia title back. Kai Green's trying to say, no, I don't think so, Martino, because when he says, I'll be back, that's not just saying like winter is coming. I don't think Ramy is trolling us the way Kai has been for all these years. He's already got all his sponsorships. He doesn't need to deceive anybody, I don't think. NASA wanted more wives, 4 trolls. You want everyone else to sweat. Oof, I don't know if that's true or not, but that's awful. Anyway, all right. I think that's it, guys. All right. Well, that was just a quick one. Just wanted to let you know what I thought and want to hear what you guys have to say. So, we're running more. Didn't mean to run that. So let me know in the comments, guys. What do you think? Where are we going to see Ramy next? And is he really coming back, or is he just trying to stay relevant? Is he just trying to keep the sponsors happy and the fans happy, thinking he's coming back, kind of like Kai Green's been doing now for 9 years? Or is Ramy the real deal? Does he mean it? Is he sincere? Is he going to make a comeback at the Olympia or the Arnold? I can't see him doing any other show, anything that's a smaller show. He's going to go for one of the two biggest titles. That I'm certain of. So let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.